So I did the London Thoroughfare at 2 a.m. by Amy Lowell. So what do I think this poem is about? I think this poem is about isolation and emptiness in city life. I think particularly at night, just because that's the setting that it was in. And I think that the more prominent theme of the poem is that the sort of disconnection and the contrast between that of urban activity and the stillness at night. So some background information. So this poem was written by Amy Lowell. She's a prominent poet of the Imagist movement. It was obviously set up in London and the early 20th century. And I think it addresses some themes of alienation, and especially just because the whole setting of this during 20th century London was during the industrialization of it. So I think it speaks on that. So the speaker. I think the speaker is just a sort of observer who's reflecting, like I've said before, on the loneliness or that's my bad, or the desolation of the urban street. And I think lines like the street lamps, gassy flame, and the empty street, I think that emphasizes that they're just a sort of observer of everything that's going on in the street, and they're in a sort of a contemplative state where they're kind of sad about feeling isolated and alienated from everything. So tone change. So I think in the beginning the tone is detached and sort of observational, and then towards the end it's kind of, I'd say more somber is the word I use, but it's, I think they're becoming more aware because they've become more introspective at the end of the poem, and I think they've been able to reflect